called me old-fashioned or call me a part of a dying breed. But I believe that a country that will not protect its children doesn't deserve to exist. I'm going to add with that, elderly, ladies, everyone. Now you can say I'm part of the, patriarchy and being chauvinistic because I say women, but I believe men should be protecting our women, our children, our elderly, and all of that. We should be very protective of them. Pam Blondie is up there arguing with the politicians saying, but what about you? What about you? I'm a parent. When you raise children, sometimes they'll say, yeah, but, they'll talk about their sibling or some other kid in this class at school or whatever. And they will, try to say, well, what they're doing, what about them? You never said nothing about them. That's not the point. The point is answering for what you have done or haven't done. I've noticed a lot of the MAGA people are defending Donald Trump over the whole Epstein thing because Donald Trump ran that he was going to, of course, we're going to put them all out and Clinton's going to be in prison and all this bullshit, both of Clintons, all this bullshit. And then it's, we're still talking about him? Then the files are released and everyone's giving him credit. Well, the files did get released, but the redactions are pretty funny. They're backwards. They didn't redact they redacted some of the supposed or alleged perps and left the names of victims open, things like that. All the games that they're fucking playing in this country, no one wants to take responsibility. They want to blame everyone else. The MAGA people are out, well, what about the Democrats? We know the Democrats suck. We know Biden. We know the Clintons. We know Obama. We know they all suck. The same with the Republicans. They suck. It's the uniparty, and they're protecting one another and themselves. They're trying to cover their own asses. We live in a country where people are being victimized. And by the way, it doesn't matter to me if it's a child victim, a woman, a man, anyone that's a victim of sexual violence, they deserve justice. They deserve, people deserve to be protected. And if something's happened to them, then they deserve justice. And we live in a country now where everyone wants to make pedophilia and sexual slavery a political thing. The MAGA people are no better than the people that were supporting the Democrats and Democrat politicians and things like that. And I just wanted to put my thoughts out here, my 2 cents, because as far as I'm concerned, if you're not a pedophile or a sex trafficker or a rapist or something, but you cover for one, for your political agenda, you're just as fucking guilty. That's the way I look at it. So Donald Trump and all the Republicans that are covering for all this bullshit that's going on, they're no better than the Democrats. And what's disgusting to me is Donald Trump and his hands in all the little, cyber money bullshit and all the things that he's doing with Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and whatever bullshit he's doing, and all the intrigue and things that he's involved in. I've always said he was a politician. He's a shit talker because he's a used car salesman. He's talked a good game and people fell for it. I understand people falling for politicians, but sometimes it seemed like you would learn to stop falling for these lying politicians and their bullshit because they get up here and sell you something and then they get up and do opposite. For me, I just look at it and to me, I can't believe that anyone believes any politicians. But Donald Trump is absolutely a pathetic piece of shit. And anyone that still supports him after what he's done and Pam Blondie and all the fools, Cash and all that, these fucking fools he's got covering and trying to act like the Epstein thing doesn't mean anything when it's just getting deeper and deeper. And now we find out there's even a connection to Epstein and Erica Kirk. Wow. And then, of course, we know Zion Don because, he's an Israel firster. He always was. I'm on record as saying that back in 2015 on the internet. That he was an Israel firster. I tried to warn people back then. I said, he's an Israel firster. He does not care about America. And then he was also the proud father of the clot shot. At some point, and the man, take the guns first, due process later, the red flag guy, all of these things about Donald Trump, he's always shown what he is. He's a snake, just like his cute little poem that he was citing when he was running. He's a snake. He's a sociopath. That's the way I see it. No, I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist, but there's no doubt in my mind he's textbook sociopath. And a lot of the people, maybe even Pam Blondie, are sociopaths. Because it's a sociopath that will rape people, and it's a sociopath that will cover for other people getting raped because they don't want to get screwed out of the other things they might be involved in the intrigue. Maybe it's not sex, but it's other things. Anyway, I just want to get my thoughts out because I just can't believe that anyone would believe. I never did understand why people believed in Donald Trump anyway, much less Bill Clinton or Biden or Obama. They all were lying sacks of shit. It's amazing to me that people are still defending the pedophile in chief, or at least he helps the pedophiles because he doesn't want other things getting dug up that he's involved in. I don't think that Donald Trump himself is a pedophile, but he might be because there's some complaints about it in the files. But I do know one thing. That man is absolutely a servant of the banksters, and he's doing for Israel because that's what he's told to do. That man, Donald Trump, is, I've heard it said, and I believe it, I think he is the most corrupt president America's ever had. And that's saying something because I believe George Washington was corrupt. I believe Abraham Lincoln was absolutely corrupt. So that's my thoughts on it. And to me, men of this country, speak up and stand up and do whatever you got to do. Stand up. Let's let these people know that we just don't want to live in a country where we're going to tolerate these assholes covering up for rapists, murderers, and everything else. Have a great day, America.